Hello fellow VR enthusiasts, my name is Andrew Novince and this is walkthrough number 12 of my virtual reality project featuring the sets from Space 1999. This update is a little unique in the sense that I haven't added any new content since the previous update, but what I have done is I've ported this main mission set to a social VR application called VRChat. VRChat has thousands and thousands of user-generated environments, along with thousands and thousands of user-generated avatars. So one of the new things you'll see in this project is that I now have a body. This is a VRChat avatar. And in fact, this particular avatar I created using an online website called Ready Player Me. And with Ready Player Me, you can upload photos and supposedly it will make a avatar that looks somewhat like you, although I haven't found much similarity at all. So let's just do a quick tour of what we have here. Basically, the previous main mission set, along with Commander Koenig's office and the corridors, came across almost one for one. There are a few elements that didn't come across, such as videos playing on some of the various screens. But that has been more than made up for by the fact that I've managed to add a video player up on that big screen and we can play episodes of Space 1999 up there. So we don't have videos on screens, but what I have added since the previous update is the Eagle transporter flying around main mission on a continuous loop. So if I come over here and walk up to the mezzanine level, we will see the Eagle flying past. Now the Eagle, we can choose 3 different configurations for the Eagle: the standard passenger pod, the rescue pod, the VIP pod, and then also no pods at all. And then if we come back down here and come to the window, let's come to this window here and watch the Eagle fly past. It's spectacular to see this in one-to-one glory and just the way it banks away from us. Now the other thing that I've added, previously I had just a flat plane for the ground plane because I really haven't put any effort into the moonscape. And still this moonscape doesn't match the television show at all. But I have at least added some undulations and so on and made it go a little bit further out to the horizon. I think the position of the planets is a little bit further out now than it was in the last update. So now as you move from left to right, you don't perceive so much parallax between the stars beyond and the planet in front. So, other than those few elements, everything else is pretty much the same as in the previous version. In the previous version, we had the ability to grab the globe and spin it in whichever direction you want. With this one, I still don't know how to do that, so I've just got the globe on a continuous loop, rotating around and round. Now, the globe is rotated at 23.5 degrees, if the astute amongst you notice that. But we do have the ability to change the texture to the moon texture. Now, in my previous project, you will know that you can bring up a menu. Now, in VRChat, we can bring up a menu as well, but it's got nothing to do with my project. It's the VRChat menu. So let's just have a quick tour of the VRChat menu, just so that you know how to navigate and even find this world. So this world is called, if I go to the World tab, this world is called Space 1999. And if I click on that, let's just have a look. It's called Space 1999 Moonbase Alpha. At the moment, I'm the only person in this world, but it can have up to a maximum of 80 people in the world. And I must say, last weekend I had about somewhere around 70 people in the world, and it was spectacular to see everybody milling around and filling up the space, making it all alive. But anyway, so here we are in the VRChat World Picker. Yeah, there are a whole lot of other tabs here to do with the social aspect of VRChat. But for now, I think I will just concentrate on the world picking aspect of it. So typically what, let me just show you some of the options that you have. So we can go to a world simply by searching for it. So if we key in a search term in here, we can find one of many thousands of worlds. This is my home world. It's sort of a low kilobytes world, so it loads quite quickly. So I'll just go to that. And so we have various choices for when we go to a world. We can simply join a world, and we will join a public instance of that world. Or if we have friends with us here in this environment, we can say drop a portal. And so wherever I place this, let's say here, this is now a portal to that world, and then everybody in the room that happens to want to come along with us to this world, they would simply walk through this portal, and then they would be teleported to that world. Now, you can see here that there are, and well, in fact, I got too close to the portal, and I'm now being teleported to the world. It should just take a couple of seconds to load up. And here we are. So this is my loading world. There is a mirror where you can inspect your avatar. So this is my Ready Player Me avatar. Now, one of the things that I'll show you once we get back into my world is I have attempted to recreate some additional avatars. And I'll show you that when we get back into my world. So from any world, what you would do is bring up your world thing, and if you didn't have it favorited, you would simply come here to the search. Oh no, you wouldn't. You would, let's just go back to worlds. You would simply key in search, and then let's just put in space 1999, and then submit. And you can see there's all the search terms. Now, there is nothing else called space 1999 other than my one here. So if I click on that, I have a choice of either joining it directly, a public instance, or dropping a portal, or creating a new instance. And in this case, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a new instance, and I can make it public, accessible to friends and then their friends, or just accessible to friends, or I can invite them and my friends can invite other people, or only I can invite people. So just so that I don't have any interruptions during this video, let's just go for invite. And once you've done that, you can either join it directly, or you can drop a portal so that other people in this room can walk through the portal with you. So if I press join, everything will go black and will just appear in my world. But alternatively, let's just drop a portal. There's a portal. There are 30 seconds for everybody who's interested to walk through that portal. And then after 30 seconds, the portal will go away if no one has walked through it. So let's just walk in. And once again, we have to give it a few seconds for that world to load up into my headset. Now, one thing I should mention is that this Space 1999 Moonbase Alpha world is for PCs only. VRChat does have the ability for people on standalone headsets to visit worlds, but they cannot visit PC-only worlds. So that's one thing to consider if you ever want to come visit this world. The other thing that's, I think, particularly exciting for people who do not have VR headsets is that VRChat has a standard flat version that you can run on a normal PC, on a normal desktop computer, monitor display, and you don't need to be in virtual reality. So to run that, you need to install Steam, and then from Steam install VRChat, and then run VRChat on your desktop computer, and you will be in this world. You'll be able to navigate using your keyboard and mouse, and you won't perceive it in virtual reality 3D, but you will perceive it on a flat monitor, which is really nice for those people who don't have a VR headset. So that's something to look forward to for people who are really curious. Now, like I said, in my previous project, I had a menu which would pop up and you could do all sorts of things. But now in VRChat, it's the VRChat menu. So what VRChat have allowed people to do when they create worlds and who need to have various menu items is that you can create your own little interactable buttons and so on. And I didn't want any menus or interactable buttons interfering with the aesthetic of the Space 1999 set. So I hid all of my buttons behind this wall. So if we go into this corridor, you can see I've got quite a few menu buttons that allow you to do various things. I guess let's just start off with the first one, is the mirror. So you can turn the mirror off, turn it back on. Now this mirror is only local to you. Any other people in this environment, the mirror will not turn on for them. They will have to individually turn on the mirror. That's partially a performance issue, so that if I turn the mirror on, it doesn't slow other people's computers down if they are struggling to render the environment. But anyway, here we are in front of the mirror. This is my avatar. And let me bring up some of these other avatars that I had created. So let's just go to, instead of worlds, this time we'll go to avatars. And look at that. I have an avatar that looks, oops, I didn't actually click it. So let's just click on this first avatar. And that looks suspiciously like Helena Russell. Now the choices of outfits for the Ready Player Me avatars is not great. So some of the outfits that I have these characters wearing is a little bit dubious. So that's Helena Russell. You can wander around the environment as her. This is my attempt at John Koenig. It's the closest I could. The avatars are very young. It's the closest that I could get to John Koenig. The hairstyles are very limited. The outfits are super limited. This is the only shirt that I found. In fact, let me just make him active. This is the only shirt that I found that didn't have a collar. And when I was creating it, it looked simple enough. But then later on, I noticed it's got all of this graphics on it, which is disappointing. There's a funny thing going on there. So this is my attempt at doing John Koenig. Now the lighting's a little bit dark in this corridor, but he's got kind of bluish eyes. And then let's just have a look at my attempt at Maya. There we go. Again, Maya's unique hairstyle wasn't one of the options in Ready Play Me. But this is sort of kind of roughly, if you squint, kind of like her hair. Also, Maya often wore a skirt. I couldn't find a plain beige skirt and dress. But Maya also did have those boots. So this is kind of a compromise where a Ready Player Me avatar had boots and a skirt, but unfortunately it was coloured. And I figured these colours were kind of very 1970s, so maybe it's in keeping with the character. So you can pick and choose which character you want to be. Now let me go, maybe I'll just go back to my own avatar. So we have mirrors. Let's just turn that off. Now if you listen very carefully, I think you might be able to hear some ambient music. I'll just be quiet for a sec. So that's the ambient music from various episodes on Space 1999. I don't know if you can hear that. Season 1 opening credits. Season 2. And then these are toggles. So if you click on it again, all the music goes off. Now over here, we have Space 1999 videos and Space 1999 photos. So if I turn on the photos, that's the usual thing that I've shown you all before. And it's these photos that just float around the entire project, so that you can compare what the TV show had and what I've modeled. So that's pretty much as before. That's the photos. Now over there we have the Earth texture on the globe, and then we can, if we're looking at that, we can go to the Moon texture, and then back to the Earth texture, and then back to the Moon texture. I'll come to the the video. Well, I might as well do the video now. Okay, so when we click the video, we now see a playlist. We see, play, stop, pause, a timeline here, volume controls, and we can see that the first episode is playing. Now, you should be able to hear it as well. So if I come outside, you can see the beginning of Breakaway. The sound is directional, so I'm hearing it coming from the screen. But what I've also done is that screen is for watching videos, and so is this rear one. So I have the same video running on both screens, and then anybody having a meeting here can look up and discuss the activities going on. So when I stand here, the sound is coming from that screen, and when I come over here, the sound is coming from that screen. Now this video player is really cool. So I've actually written down the episode names, and I've also included the IMDb episode ratings. And you may or may not agree with what they determine to be good episodes and not so good episodes, but let's click on Dragon's Domain, and you can see it's loading. And you should have noticed there just briefly I had the Space 1999 test pattern, but it appears between episodes when you change episodes in the playlist.
It was the 877th day since our moon left Earth. We were between galaxies, drifting through empty space.
Between galaxies. I find that hard to believe.
When Tony Cellini began to believe,
and then you can scroll down. So here we are, Season 2, Episode 13. Wow, Catacombs is that low. It's interesting. So if I click on AB Chrysalis, and then come outside, so the old episode is still playing, give it a chance, then we see the test pattern, and now we see the new episode start. And give that a chance. There we go. So these opening credits last for, a minute or so. If you really want, you can come to the timeline and just go forward a couple of minutes. And there you can see the episode is a couple of minutes in. One thing I forgot to mention is I did simulate moon gravity in this VRChat world. So when you jump quite high and you fall quite slowly. And so if you run forward and jump, you end up breaking the long distance record.
Eagle 1 to command. Yes, Alan. We're in position. Hold your position.
So yeah, when you jump, it's moon gravity. Now the other thing too, since we're talking about moon gravity, is with my original project, I had used static lighting for almost everything, and again I'm using static lighting for almost everything, and so you can see there's a shadow underneath there, and that's because it's static, so I can't pick any of that up. But I did make an exception for a few items. So these two items, you can see they don't have a shadow underneath them, which is really unfortunate, because it just doesn't look anywhere near as good as the ones that have baked shadows. But what I can do is pick them up and transfer them between my hands, and but there is no video playing on that. So that's Helena Russell's Comlock. The scanner is there. Now in VRChat, the picking up things and dropping things is a little bit more buggy than it is in my original project. The other thing that you can do as well is if there's a chair and if you aim your hand at it, there's a blue square. You can click on the blue square and then that seats you in the chair. And so now you're fixed and you won't be moving anywhere. And all you need to do to move out of the chair is just push sideways on your joystick and you exit the chair. So wherever you can sit, I put little blue seating things.
Come in, Alpha. Come in, Moonbase Alpha.
You can sit down in this chair. Now in this case, My avatar is too big for this chair, and he's sitting above the chair itself. I can sit in this chair and have a drink of some hot chocolate. I've made it possible to pick up the... Oh, it's a little bit tricky, but you can pick up the clipboard, the Eagle Transporter plans. Wow, that was a good bit of balance. And we can also pick up this white clipboard here. So this is the plan of main mission and Commander Koenig's office. So as usual, I forget that you guys are looking at this on YouTube, and as I flick my head around from left to right, it might be a little bit sickening. So I'm sorry about that. Now, so that's pretty much all we need to say about the video. Now over here we have the five options for the color of the wall panels. So obviously white is what they are now, so we can pick green, there's green, orange, peach, and red. And there's green. Now over here we have the mirror, the same as on the other side. And then these settings are for the Eagle Transporter pods. So that central passenger pod on the Eagle Transporter. And that refers to the Eagle Transporter that's going around main mission. So at the moment it's using the rescue pod. So if I click on passenger pod, it would have changed. Likewise for the VIP. And then also over here we have all pods, and then if you click on that it says off. So all pods will be off if you click on that. And now if we come outside, and I don't know where the Eagle is right now, let's just go up mezzanine, see if, there it is, look at that. So there's the mezzanine. Now you notice the vernier jets, they actually do fire in the correct direction as the Eagle turns corners and banks and does all those sorts of things. So you'll see the verniers change as it banks and as it turns. So that was with the passenger pods turned off. If we go to VIP, I wonder if I can catch it up here. There we go. And again, if you look carefully, you would have seen the vernier change direction as it as the Eagle banks differently. And let's have a look at it. Actually, let's have a look at the Eagle from the corridor windows. There it is, look at that. So that was the VIP, and then I should also point out, you can go through that door, but this door is also traversable, so I can walk right through it, and then I end up in the corridor. Let's pick passenger pod, because I haven't shown that to you yet. Now I think it should be coming around the corner. There it is. Standard 44-inch Eagle. The flames on the Eagle obviously are not like the flames in the TV show. I guess I didn't even think of... I just used the standard particle system in Unity. Maybe I should have made them white so that it's similar to the TV show. See what you guys think. Leave a comment in the notes below the video. So that's all the Eagle Transporter settings, all the wall light settings. And that's pretty much it. So this is in let me turn on the, oops. No, what I wanted is that. And then if we go and look here, we can compare the green panels. There's the eagle. Look at that going past the window. It's huge, isn't it? So, as I was saying, I have ported only this main mission set to VRChat, but within the next month, I think I should finish porting across the interior of the travel tube and the eagles, and then also the launch pads, the two launch pads as well, I hope. And then I'll connect those to each other because they will have to be separate worlds. This world is quite large in terms of VRChat worlds, in terms of download size. And I can't just keep adding more and more stuff to this world. It just gets too big. So I'll create those as separate worlds, and I will connect to them via the portal system that you see when we drop a portal. I'll do it like via one of these things, and I think I'll build. So for instance, in the travel tube, I think what I might do. So there's our computer room, which you saw last time. So here we have our travel tube, and so I have modeled the travel tube beyond these doors. But if we try to go through this door at the moment, nothing happens. So I think what I'll do is I'll make this door traversable, just like that other door is. And I think I'll just go into a little, maybe empty room, or maybe even just blackness. And within that blackness, there'll be that portal. And that portal will take you to the travel tube world that's connected to the airlock, and then connected to the interior of the Eagle Transporter passenger pod. And then somehow, somewhere, I think I'll connect to the launch pads as well. But that's it for now. I hope you all visit VRChat either in virtual reality or on a flat screen on your PC through Steam, and enjoy it as much as I do. Thanks a lot. See you next time. Bye.